I've always been fascinated with history. I like to put myself back to those times and imagine like what it used to be like, what life must have been like, and what kind of fears and dreams and things they used to have compared to what we have today. You have treasure hunters, you have relic hunters, you have gold hunters, you have, people looking for lost jewelry and relics and all of that stuff. A friend of mine had a metal detector one day and said, hey, you wanna go out and try metal detecting? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go out metal detecting, and we went out, and of course I wasn't thinking like history and like, I'm gonna go out and find some stuff from 300 years ago. I was like, let's go out and find treasure. Let's go find things that are gonna make us rich. That's not what happens. It's not what happens. So what I found really quick was the real treasure behind metal detecting are the memories that you make with the people that you go out with, and the things that you see, and the stories that resonate in your head, and you imagine and you start thinking about these things. And that's the thing, every time you dig a hole, you don't know what it's gonna be. You have an idea maybe, but you really don't know what you're gonna discover every single time you go out. And that's the thrill of metal detecting for me. And not only that, it's real life time travel. You go out and you start finding things that are buried that, people haven't touched in a couple of 100 years, and you're the first one to hold it, or a bell that might ring for the first time in who knows how long. I look at it as these are stories that are unheard. These are stories of people that came before us that, unless we discover the stuff and learn about it, we'll never know our history about the people that once were here. And again, it's in the ground, and if we don't get it out of the ground, it's just gonna sit there and rot, and it's gonna be gone forever. All right, so first things first is you're gonna need a metal detector. And this is my metal detector right here. The headphones are connected through Bluetooth. As you see, they're both serrated on the edges here. That'll help you cut through roots, tough ground. They're both made of steel, which is great. They don't break, they don't bend. I want to make sure that I have a fines box. This is to protect, any of the more treasured items of the day. Having a good pair of gloves. These are just mechanic gloves, especially if you're going on those long hikes. Backpack for all your stuff. When I'm in the woods, I do carry a sidearm for safety purposes, because you don't know what you're gonna experience out there, especially in the springtime, because bear come out of hibernation and they're hungry. I highly recommend that anytime you're outside, you're wearing long pants and have sunblock, bug repellent. It'll add to that experience of a joyful adventure and just knowing that you're prepared in case something bad happens. That's basically what I carry out with me when I go metal detecting.
Perfect.
There you go.
Could I have you model everything all together?
Sure. How do you want me to model? You want me to put it all on?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Son of a... So a lot of people will ask me, what different tones and stuff mean and everything else. So depending on what your settings are on your metal detector, so just for demonstration purposes, here's a quarter. And a quarter is going to put up a higher tone. The numbers are going to read higher. And it's a nice, solid, crisp sound. And on the flip side of this, I have an old button that will sound lower. When people ask, hey, I have keys that are lost and whatnot, you don't really know what you're going to hear, but so there's a mixture, right?
Yeah.
So when we're out, scanning the ground, those are the kind of sounds that we're looking for, the ones that repeat, the ones that are crisp, and the ones that'll give us a good indication that it's something worthy of digging. Take a step, swing. And that's sometimes, it's not easy, is it?
Yeah, no,
It's a different feeling.
Why is that?
Usually on the edges of fields, that's where the old home sites and stuff used to be. Seeking permission from landowners is absolutely a must. We call it door knocking around here. You know, we're gonna go door knocking. You'd be very surprised how open a lot of individuals are. And they'll be the first ones that want to tell you the story of their land, the history of their house, which actually can lead to a better understanding of what could potentially be found there. And then when you do find those items and you get to share them with the landowner and all of that stuff, it's wonderful, especially if I can find things, and it's happened many times where I found things that were tied to the history of that house or to that family. Metal detecting on public property like parks and things like that, you want to know your local laws. I mean, every state is different. I found that, you know, when you go to parks, especially as a beginner, you know, going to parks and things like that is a really good place to learn because, let's face it, humans are pretty clumsy and they drop a lot of stuff. That's really where you can learn the machine that you're using. And I really didn't venture out into the woods and old home sites and things like that until I really started developing a knowledge for what exactly I was looking for, how my machine worked, how my equipment worked, things like that, because I didn't want to just go out and be completely unprepared. Every single person that's ever gone out metal detecting, whether you've been metal detecting for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever, every one of us has started with finding junk. I like to think of it as, you know, we're kind of guardians of the land, I guess. You know, we're cleaning up what we've left behind. I mean, essentially, we pull out bags and bags and bags of trash from the ground before we pull out anything good. And the reality is that one find can make your whole day. It just makes it all worth it.
You found anything? Nothing but trash.
I think it's, yeah, the pin would have went here and it would have, oh no, right here. Something like that. The iron pin's gone out of it, but.
You do have landowners that say, you know, I would like to keep this or I'd like to keep that, and that's fine. But over time, you learn to discuss those things when you talk to the homeowners and the property owners and whatnot, and you just kind of bring it up in conversation. Hey, if I find this, what would you like done with it? You know, and you kind of make that agreement before you actually go and search. Another do not do are cemeteries and like sacred places. Like, you don't want to go and dig in a cemetery where people are laid to rest. I mean, it's a no-no. The number one thing is don't have a metal detector that surpasses any bit of your knowledge of how to use it. They have awesome starter machines out there that, you know, have all the bells and whistles, but not as complicated as some of, you know, your higher end metal detectors. You're gonna figure out as you go what works for you, what doesn't. Everybody's gonna have their opinions, just like sports teams. Everybody's gonna tell you what the best metal detector is, just like someone might tell you what the best sports team is, you know? But the other things that I would highly recommend people getting are a pin pointer and a fines pouch to put your trash and things like that. And you have to be curious. What happened there? When did it happen? What am I gonna find? Why am I gonna find it? Why was it left behind? And there's other people that, you know, they get metal detectors because, you know, they just want to go out and find quarters and dimes and nickels and just pass some time at a park and stuff. There's people down in Florida that do the beach hunting. Up and down the beaches they go looking for old jewelry and coins and things like that lost along the way. Geographically, it's like people that metal detect in this area don't necessarily metal detect the way people in this area metal detect. But you're also not looking for the same stuff. You know, you want to leave the land better than how you found it. Every time. It doesn't matter where you're at. Whether that's when you remove trash, you know, you bring it all out with you, plug your holes back up, you know, don't leave open holes laying around and trash laying around. But at the end of the day, do your research on everything, whether it's what you're looking for, where you're going, what kind of equipment you should use, all of that stuff. And all of that information is out there. And until you actually have it in your hand and start using it, you're really not going to be able to know exactly what's good for you until you start learning the process on your own. Metal detecting is fun by yourself, and a lot of people do it. I do it too, but having friends go out with you and sharing the experience and, you know, finding something that's cool and being able to turn to your buddy and say, hey, look at this. You know, it can get competitive because everybody wants to find the best thing, right? But I have so many good memories from all the times that I've been out. It's really incredible how many people I have met over the years based on social media and being involved in this hobby and learning from them. So that's the cool part about it all, is everybody's looking for something different. We're all looking for the same lost things, but they're different.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to discover more hobbies and visit notjustahobby.com to learn more.